Support Saturday, Lucius x Serra. Welcome to Support Saturday, where I'll be looking at your favorite supports. Today's support is brought to you by KageRyu, who wants me to tackle the support conversation between the prettiest character in Alib's army and Serra. Now, I love Serra as a character. I think her sharp tongue and attitude brings a funny atmosphere to an otherwise serious army. So when she meets Lucius for the first time in their support conversation, it goes as much as you'd expect, like with any other Lucius support. "Oh my god, you're so very pretty, but I can't be friends with a pretty girl," with Serra interrupting Lucius at any given opportunity to explain that he's a guy until the very end, where he reveals that he is indeed a monk, a class only available to guys. Their B support, while humorous, doesn't go that much better, as Serra, talking to herself about how beautiful Lucius is, gets overwhelmed by him specifically, and since they're now talking more closely, Serra realizes how beautiful Lucius is, commenting on his eyes and his voice. This support going into the next implies that Serra is starting to have some idealistic views about Lucius, and just about anything that he does or will do could entrance her further. But their A support takes a sharp turn in tone as Serra, filled with these crazy thoughts about Lucius, asks where he's from. When Lucius replies with Eteria, the place where the churches of Saint Elimine are located, Serra goes, "Of course, that makes sense with your beautiful blonde hair," which then leads to the conversation of if Lucius was born from a noble family. Lucius replies back with how he's just a commoner, which Serra is taken aback by, since she just filled her head with a bunch of ideas on who Lucius could be. And while normally our favorite sharp-mouthed cleric would have said something crazy, Lucius explains calmly to her that his father was a soldier and his mother died shortly after, and he was raised in an orphanage. Serra, who has a similar backstory to Lucius, resonates with this backstory and tells him in tears that she was raised in an orphanage as well, and says that she understands how it was like growing up in a strange and sad place. Lucius thanks her for her kindness and says perhaps it was destiny that Saint Elimine brought them together. It's really unfortunate that they don't have a paired ending together, but I guess it makes sense since Lucius is a monk working for the church. But this support conversation hits especially harder when you look at support conversations like Serra x Hector, where she tells Hector about her experiences being in her orphanage, and how they never had enough to go around. So winters were cold, they would often go hungry, but she, quote, knew how her parents are of royal Etrurian bloodline, waiting to come and get her back, though it's implied to be her own delusional way of coping to feel better about her being abandoned. So when Lucius tells her about how he grew up in an orphanage, it resonated with her on a deeper level because she understands the struggle that he went through to become a monk of the church. So while the support conversation starts off by glazing how beautiful Lucius is, the ending showcases the empathy that both Serra and Lucius has for one another, showing off why they're both a cleric and a monk to the Church of Saint Elimine. If you have a support conversation you want me to tackle, feel free to leave them in the comments down below or by joining my Discord.